Hello and welcome to Medical Dialogues Journal Club. I am Dr. Nandita Mohan, and today I will be talking about the Journal of Laboratory Physicians, which is published by Scientific Scholar, which has recently finally crossed the much awaited impact factor of 1 in this year's Clarivate's journal citation report. Now, this journal that we're going to discuss in detail today focuses on the latest developments in the field of clinical biochemistry, pharmacology, pathology, microbiology, radiodiagnosis, and various molecular technologies. Joining us today to talk to us in depth about this achievement, an ex-professor of AIIMS New Delhi and the one credited of establishing AIIMS Bhopal. He has served many key positions under different organizations and is also the proud editor-in-chief of this journal, that is the Journal of Laboratory Physicians. He is none other than the recipient of Padma Shri Prof. Mahdi Hasan Award, Prof.Dr. Sarman Singh. Along with him, we have his student and now his journal's publisher for a really long time now, Dr. Sunny Duttagupta, the publishing director at Scientific Scholar. I welcome the both of you to Medical Dialogues. It's really a privilege to be having you on board here with us today.
Thank you.
Great. Now, sir, firstly, heartiest congratulations for the journal to achieve this impact factor and reaching the impact factor of 1, that is by the Clarivate's analysis. So how does it feel to be rewarded that after years of hard work, the success has actually happened?
Yeah, this is really something you would always, look for. And because Clarivate impact factor, even though these days there is a lot of other scopus and other things are also there and they measure in different ways, but definitely Clarivate has been the most respected indexing and ranking agency. Mm-hmm. So to have firstly to have any ranking in the Clarivate, and that too crossing the 1. So Q3 it is in our the journal is in our Q3 percentile. So that is something, very happy moment. And I think this credit goes to our reviewers, other co-editors, and specifically Sunny has been very, instrumental in that. And so I really thank the, Scientific Scholar also. This is the third, publishing house. We entered in the publication arena in 2008. It is a long story. Before that, without any publishing house, I started publishing a Journal of Laboratory Medicine in 2006. Probably many of us, those who are not from AIIMS, they may not be knowing that AIIMS Delhi is the only institute where there is a Department of Laboratory Medicine, which encompasses of basically the 3 major departments: pathology, microbiology, and biochemistry. So this word laboratory physician was given by me. So I can proudly take credit for that. Yeah. So I thought that why not, because it is a department of laboratory medicine. So I started with the laboratory medicine, but because I was also running clinic of Torch Clinic and HIV/AIDS clinic. So I thought, because I am doing the physician's work also, so why not change it to laboratory physician? So I started the work that all those who are working in the laboratory medicine department, they should be called as laboratory physicians, and AIIMS recognized it. And then this was the turning point, that when I started, his doctor, what was the name of the man who's first?
Dr. Sahu.
Dr. Sahu, he reached, because he somehow came to know that I am from it was not a Pragati publishing company, in house. So I was publishing, 3-4 issues I published. Mm-hmm. So he came to know that I am publishing some journal, but that is not through any agency. So in house, somewhere it was getting printed. So he approached that, he said, and Dr. Piyush Sani, I am sure that you know. So he referred him and he came to my office, and then he offered this, and so we started with that. And I gave him this name that, let us publish with the Journal of Laboratory Physicians.
That indeed is a very innovative achievement and a very good story, very interesting tale to come long way this way. Now, Dr. Sunny, if I may come to you, in what capacity are you sitting with us today, and as a publisher or as a student, and how do you feel about SIR's and the journal's achievement altogether?
Thank you, Dr. Nandita. Although I am publishing Sarman Sir's journal JLP for a long time under all the three different brands, be it Medno, be it Theme, or now in Scientific Scholar, but with Sir I will always be a student first and then a publisher. I still remember our very first interaction where maybe Sir might not recall it, but I still remember that very clearly. I used to be a bit notorious and I was running around in the corridor, and he came out of his chamber, and me and two of my other batchmates, I won't name them, then we got a little bit of a treatment from him, and we had to hold our ears and stand outside his chamber. So that was our very first interaction, but owing to those interactions, owing to such hard teaching, we became what we became at the end. So it is the guidance, the mark, and the outlook which they imbibed in us, we became what we became. So for Sir, I would always be a student, and it's a very proud moment for me that I am sitting beside him today, and we are really relishing this achievement of crossing the impact factor of 1. I had handled many journals which are even higher ranked, even higher impact factor, but this feeling where, because I have been there with the journal right from its inception, and I have seen the journal grow, the ups and downs, the struggles that we had, and you know, after so much of struggle, when you finally touch that mark of 1, you know, it's an extraordinary feeling. So as a student, as a publisher, I cannot be more proud, and I'm pretty sure going forward we would achieve much more success. Our next aim is getting the journal index in Scopus and having its maiden site score, and much beyond that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Great, great. Now, sir, if you could just tell our audience the unique feature. Now, you gave, as you mentioned, you gave the inception of physicians, the laboratory physicians, the terminology created by you. So, if you could just highlight on the unique feature of this journal, that is Journal of Laboratory Physicians, where this journal actually sets the other journals apart, and how do you see the journal growing in the near future? Dr. Sunny did give us hope and did give us motivation on what achievement they are looking forward to. But coming from you, if you could just tell our audience.
I think very important thing, because what is, you know, USP of this journal? It is indeed because most of the journals, they are having, you know, one focus area. Mm-hmm. And this is having very wide, umbrella. But the new concept in this journal is that, you know, the convention, because we all have passed MBBS, we have been thinking that if you are a microbiologist or pathologist, biochemist, you are only limited to the laboratory. This journal gives opportunity and encourages, not only through publication, but as such encourages that how the laboratory persons, they were considered to be, you know, light subjects in medical language, what we call. So light subject, no emergency, nothing. So now that concept is changing, and now the laboratory physicians, they can play a role from laboratory to the patient. They can reach, they can invent, they can test, and they can apply the new technologies, new medicines, or new, you know, innovative approaches to treat also. Like these days, we have the, evidence-based thing. Mm-hmm. So we have the best evidence before us. So laboratory physicians, they can decide better. And, the change has been particularly after HIV/AIDS, and then particularly after COVID. These disciplines, they have been recognized, they have been appreciated, and their services has, they have saved, millions of the lives. because how they can suggest that what antibiotics should be given, what is the antibiotic stewardship, what are the various tests, what are the various monoclonal antibodies you need to produce, how to test, and how the dosing has to be done. Like in chemotherapy also, like we have, similarly in other disciplines also we can have. So these these disciplines, physicians from these disciplines, they can play pivotal role, and this journal gives that opportunity across. So it is not only a pathology or microbiology journal or basic, but also it encompasses the clinical outcome and how you can play a role in the management of the patient also. So this journal gives, very recently we have also started a journal club. So in this journal club, so in that, what is the difference in this, that you can criticize, scientifically, the investigations or the where the fault has been done by intentionally or by poor quality or negligence or oversight, whatsoever reason could be. So you can say that this investigation was wrongly done or not properly done, and then you can say that it should have been done like this. So this approach, this will give, so healthy criticism. So that kind of like what we do journal club. So this will read out that this is in this paper, so say for example somebody has published in this paper, this should have been done like this. True. Because usually we say that science we analyze, but we never analyze the investigations how they were done. So that is also this action we have started. So I think that will have freedom to express that many times we feel that this investigation was not done correctly. Because of that we lost the patient or the life or whatsoever it could be. So that will give this opportunity.
So that indeed is actually giving out a voice to many young researchers or whoever is publishing. So all those authors will actually take, as you mentioned, it will be a healthy criticism in a way. So they won't take it in a negative way, and they can actually, it will be done probably for improvement for further research. So definitely, yes. Now coming back to you, Dr. Sunny, for a journal like the Journal of Laboratory Physicians, which is categorized in more than one speciality, as mentioned, sir mentioned, there are 3 different categories, and all that clubbed together is the Journal of Laboratory Physicians. So how challenging is it as a publisher to manage and grow such a vast journal?
Excellent question, Dr. Nandita. And certainly it is quite challenging, because when you are developing a specialty journal which is dealing with a single subject, you already know the competition nationally as well as globally. So if you are trying to improve the overall metrics of the journal, or that the type of articles that you would commission or focus or promote or make a special issue, it would really help not improving in the overall metric competition, but also the community as well, the message that we want to spread. But when it comes to a multidisciplinary journal like JLP, so JLP is an interface of a specialty as well as a multidisciplinary. We cannot say that JLP is a multidisciplinary journal like an actual multidisciplinary journal. But it is also not a single specialty journal. It has more than one specialty, but it does not have 20 different specialties coming in. So you won't find an orthopedic research getting published in JLP. It caters to few specialties together under one umbrella, and that's what makes JLP unique in its own. And as sir rightly mentioned, it is a journal which lays emphasis on the core investigations, which eventually helps in the final clinical outcome and approach of the practicing clinician. So as a publisher, to develop such a journal, it becomes very tricky, because we know that we are going to compete with journals that are going to publish core pathology content, core microbiology content, or core clinical biochemistry content. The competition is very different in these 3 categories, but then we have to plan special issues accordingly. We have to promote the content accordingly. Of course, your team is also helping us significantly in that. But then when it comes to the global metrics, the competition becomes so tough that we have to apply a lot of our brain, that we will publish and streamline the content accordingly so as to maintain the balance, but at the same time also keep in mind that yes, we have to grow the journal to a certain degree, and that's what we have been trying to do in the past years. We have been focusing on core original molecular investigations. We are trying to have the best of the narrative reviews and the systematic meta-analysis getting published, and that is what is paying its dividend. And I would take this opportunity to encourage potential authors and reviewers to please join this journey of Journal of Laboratory Physicians and come to us with your best of the investigations, and we will help it take it to the global audience.
Great. Lastly, sir, if you could also give out a piece of advice to the young researchers, young generation healthcare professionals who are aiming to achieve and to grow into publications. So if you could just give out a piece of advice for them as well.
Thank you. This is very, Sunny has already told, but I would like to say that, journal has, uniqueness. Sometimes our surgery person, he has done most of the work, say for example, laboratory, but comes from surgery.
True.
These kind of researchers, after submitting their thesis, they don't find that, whether they should submit in the surgery journal or a pure microbiology investigation, like, surgical wound infection.
Yes.
Now, this journal is the best journal for them. Similarly, radio diagnosis, if they have done, or PET scan they have done, and they have corroborated their findings with the laboratory, the biochemicals, pathological, surgical pathology, and PET scan. This is the journal. This journal will be the best journal for them, rather than nuclear medicine or the pathology or neurology journal. So this encompasses any investigative medicine leading to management of the patient. Investigation has to be there. That is the backbone of this journal.
Great. So thank you so much, Dr. Sarman and Dr. Sunny, for joining us today at Medical Dialogues and giving us a valuable insight on the achievement and the initiation till date, the journey of this journal.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.